If you think you know what it's like to be a woman in the adult industry, then you probably don't. I've been in this world 8 years, and today I am breaking down the biggest misconceptions and what's actually true for most of us behind the scenes. Hi, I'm Stella. I've been in the adult industry for about 8 years, and I've seen a lot of misconceptions from the outside looking in. And of course, there's always exceptions, but I am sharing with you what's really true for most of us and why the typical stereotypes don't actually reflect reality. Number one, they're lazy and they just want to do nothing and look pretty and get paid for it. And while that may be true for people who enter the adult industry, it actually takes a lot of work behind the scenes. When you are watching a piece of content from someone in the adult industry, you are seeing the results of so much work behind the scenes. I mean, there are marketing skills you need to acquire. There's editing and uploading and writing descriptions. And if you're not hiring out for all of these, which most people can't do when they enter the adult industry, then you're doing all that work yourself. And since OnlyFans girls are truly a dime a dozen, I mean, the market is just saturated because of that misconception that you can just look pretty and get paid for it. It doesn't always work that way. You actually have to put in a lot of work and a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of intention to stand out above the crowd. Number two, they are diseased. They're nasty. Actually, we are probably the cleanest you will find. I mean, we go through testing before every shoot. And it's not the same level as testing as you would like civilian testing, regular testing. We actually go through a whole process. Anyone successful in this industry is only shooting with tested people. And then we also carry that into our private lives, because why would you want to mess that up? Why would you want to mess that up by playing around with someone who's not tested? Because not only can you get some nasty, funky STD, but you also risk losing your job, losing your livelihood, losing your status. Also, if you pay any attention to what happens in the adult industry as far as testing, you might notice that PASS, which is kind of like the industry watchdog for testing, they will put a moratorium, a stop on studio filming when a test comes up positive for something major. So everyone just puts a halt. They figure out where it came from, how that happened, and then they resume. So this misconception that adult industry workers are disease riddled is just absolutely false. Number three, we're all partiers. We just like to go out and party all the time. It's wild. But actually, most of us aren't. Of course, we party at events like AVN and XBiz because that's the point of those events. And also, it's kind of set up to where it feels a little safer for industry workers to party because they don't just let anyone in. Everyone there is sort of on the same wavelength, so it feels a little safer than just going out to any old public place to party. But most people actually separate their work from their private lives, and then for the most part, we're kind of just living normal lives like everyone else. Number four, that we have low relationship standards and low morals and just bad relationship behaviors. But actually, if you are in the adult industry and are in a relationship, you have to be so much more diligent about your relationship, because jealousy and those other feelings can so easily foster in this type of environment if you're not intentional about it. Open communications is an absolute must. You have to have it. There is no exception. You cannot have privacy from your partner if you are doing this type of work. Everything has to be clear, open, on the table. Your partner needs to see exactly what you're doing, whether they're involved or not. That way you have the door open for those communications. Otherwise, there's this element of secrecy that just fosters, so everything has to be open. And that alone prevents so many problems that would happen in any relationship, regardless of what you do for work. And I actually have a separate video on this entire subject about what it takes to be a good partner of someone in the adult industry. So if you're interested in that, check that out. And number 5, women in the adult industry are just validation seeking. They just want to be told how pretty they are. Now, for this one, I'm going to actually partially agree with that one, but not necessarily in the ways that you think. So, yes, compliments are nice. Everyone likes compliments. Everyone wants to know that they look good. Everyone wants to feel good. Everyone likes validation. And actually, I think that's the biggest reason why women and maybe men get into this industry, because they are seeking that type of validation that maybe they're not getting from their partner, maybe they're not getting in other areas of their life. So yes, compliments are nice, that validation is nice, but when you hear that 500 times a day, it starts to lose its value. So actually, women in the adult industry are seeking validation for something other than their looks. They actually gravitate to a partner who validates them and acknowledges and appreciates the work that they put into their job. We are people too. We like to be acknowledged for who we are on the inside, not just how we look. I mean, we have the same needs as anyone else. So looks validation just comes along with this job, but what we're actually seeking in a partner is someone who validates us. I hope that gives you a better picture of what it's like to be a woman in the adult industry. If you have any other questions or if you have any other stereotypes that you are curious about, just drop them in the comments and I might tackle them in a future video. See you next time. Stay savage.